Right now, we have Adam Clark of Tangible Solutions with us today. How are you, Adam?
I'm great. How are you doing, Gabby?
I'm good. Very much looking forward to hearing about you and your business.
Yes, indeed.
So please tell us about you. Who are you and what does your company do?
I myself, I'm a father, entrepreneur, veteran, kind of, I guess, a little bit of the cloth that I've been cut from. Tangible Solutions, we're a contract manufacturer of 3D printed titanium orthopedic implants.
Wow.
Classic story, we started in a garage with two plastic printers, and then now today we have about 25,000 square feet. We have 10 metal printers, 22 employees. So we've experienced a lot of growth even through COVID. We've just, things have really been rocking for us for the last couple of years. So excited to share the
Hey,
story.
congratulations. And how did you get into that specifically as far as orthopedic implants? How did you get into that?
It was, I think, every business has to have a focus, especially as an entrepreneur. You can be all over, you can be 10 sheets to the
Hmm.
wind, see anything that's really shiny and go after it. When I got out of the Army, I was working at a defense contractor. It's where I met my business partner. The defense industry isn't really the most fun industry to be in. A lot of bureaucracy and whatnot. But
Mm.
we started to work our way out into other industries. We started getting inquiries from orthopedic OEMs that make spine implants to be their contract manufacturer. We started to pursue that a lot more, and then after a while, they just became really our top customer, and that's when we pivoted the company, got rid of all other companies and our customers that we were working with, and decided to, really focus in on this space. There wasn't a lot of competition at the time, and
Okay.
we dove right in, and that's how we found our focus.
So as far as you mentioned, not a lot of competition at the time, are you seeing that maybe then now you got ahead of it and there's more competition now compared to before?
Definitely. I definitely think we're ahead of it. We went through the pain of getting everything set up, just the ecosystem of 3D printing parts. It's not just print it and cut it off the plate. There's a lot of tolerances. There's a lot of traceability for the FDA. There's a lot to it.
Hmm.
And I think because we developed a niche and focused in on that, we got really good at the process, having a lot of empathy for our customers, trying to understand where they're coming from, working with patients, and
Hmm.
kind of being a part of the entire healthcare system, and seeing our parts in somebody's body via an X-ray is,
Yeah.
can really give you a lot of goosebumps. When you see something like that, it's pretty cool.
Right, that you're saying you're literally helping people out to live day by day.
Yeah, for sure. And we've kind of adopted it around here. We've got a weight room, trying to work a nice, healthy
Okay.
balance between, working hard and working to standard versus, a time,
Mhm.
and then allowing people to, kind of pursue personal endeavors or to just stay in shape, things like that. You don't want what we sell.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, some people get them, and we try to, practice what we preach by, living a good life and being balanced and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as your competitors and other people are, like you said, are kind of playing catch up and it's becoming more competitive, how do you create fresh opportunities to best serve your customers?
I think within the niche, there's 3D printing. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, I can 3D print," and this can go for any industry. But where we started to differentiate ourselves was the delivery and the understanding of everything outside of that. And what I mean by that is, a quality management system. We had to have that was a little bit more tailored to the FDA, and what questions they're going to be asking. And so we became experts in what the FDA was looking for in
Okay.
terms of what questions they were going to be asking. So helping our customers clear product, get it out the door, offering more of an extensive solution within our niche.
Hmm.
So we 3D print it, we machine it, we do all the milling, we do all the inventory, we do all the inspection. So those are the
Wow.
things
Okay.
that, because as we got into the niche, we were like, oh man, we're really shrinking our circle. But
Hmm.
then we were deepening our breadth of offerings within that. Design, help for design, for additive manufacturing, all the little nuances around it. Being able to bring focus to a customer when they call and say, hey, I got a surgeon, he really wants this part, it's got to be this way, can you
Okay.
get it to me? And the fact that we're not so spread out versus various industries, we understand the importance of that customer calling and dealing with
Hmm.
that surgeon, and what it means in terms of a larger contract, maybe for a specific product line. And so it's at that kind of that turnkey, having empathy, and then
Right.
going beyond offer as a solution in terms of manufacturing, but also from a regulatory standpoint. And none of our competition has really caught up to that because we
Okay.
focused on hiring people from the industry. So
Nice. People already have that experience as far as hiring.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They have a lot. Yeah, they have a lot more. And that is another area too, is because we started to focus, we started to recruit out of that industry, out of the
Mm-hmm.
orthopedic industry.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you getting the expertise of people from that industry, but you're also getting the excitement that they bring to the table
Right.
because they're jazzed up about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, it comes back to you too. You're like, man, this is like, you're inspired by these people who have been in the orthopedic reason for a reason, maybe a father or grandfather or mother or daughter, somebody
Mm-hmm.
had an implant or something, they had something done to them early in life, or they needed an implant, didn't work out. So you start to get people who are really passionate about a specific industry. They bring in expertise about a specific industry.
Mm-hmm.
And then you dial all that energy into a focus. And it's really allowed us, we're going to probably be at 150% growth from last year
Wow.
to this year. And we're already projecting probably, about 200 to 250% growth next year. Now we're a small company. We're going to land at like 3 million in sales this year. So that will put us at about in between 5 and 6. But,
Mm-hmm.
at a small level, that's a pretty big swing.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty excited about where we're headed. It hasn't always been that way for sure,
Yeah.
but,
Congratulations on that growth. That's super exciting. That's very
thank
exciting.
you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure also kind of like you said, it would be easy to just try to serve so many different people, so many different industries, but I'm sure those times where it's like you really can be relied on for this one niche, it makes it worth it. It's like, okay, let's stay here because people know they can rely on us for this thing, this one area.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, and we have long sales cycles too in this industry, so you really got to
exactly.
keep at it with these folks. And then once you've cleared a product, for us, it takes a lot to um, bounce the incumbent manufacturer. So if we're
Hmm.
coming in on a product line late and they've already cleared it with one other vendor, it's very difficult to get them to bring their business over to Tangible. So
Right.
you really have to kind of keep people into the product cycle and stay on top of what's happening within the industry, regulatory changes or market changes or market shifts, things of that nature. It
Hmm.
has a big impact on a company that can be rather small. So
Absolutely. I'm sure your customer service then has to be pretty on point. Like so with these large sales cycles and to make sure that you just keep people updated and there's so many different avenues people have to go through to even have the whole thing completed.
absolutely. Yeah. Just, really, again, it comes down to having empathy and kind of getting into the
Yeah.
trenches with them and like standing side by side
Hmm.
with them or, because I've flown parts out to a customer to meet them on a Saturday at their facility when they're,
Wow.
you know,
Okay.
going to present this to a surgeon and for them to kind of have that, like pick up the phone and call, yes, I can do that because it's also a small company and we're rather hungry and it ultimately falls on me and my business partner, Chris, to make it happen.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that, they like the fact that they can have someone that they can call and be a part of that. And I think if we were all over the place, we wouldn't be as good as we are within the niche that we're in. Because I look at our engineers, they'll really nerd out over some new designs or new
Okay.
software package, and I love it. And I'm a nerd in my own right, so I don't take that, I'm a nerd about manufacturing, but
Okay. There it is.
they'll take it and then they'll apply their creativity to the
Hmm.
orthopedic space. And it's like an acceleration. Because when we first decided to get rid of all our other customers, it was scary. We're
Right.
getting rid of revenue, but we were also getting rid of a lot of problems and distractions. And,
Hmm.
there's a lot of shiny things out there. It's like one of the movies where they see Up,
Up.
all the
Yeah.
dogs,
Squirrel.
they see a squirrel, they
Yeah.
all take off. You can very easily, and that'll knock you over real quick, probably
Hmm.
faster than anything from a cash standpoint, but also from a distraction. Your employees start to wonder, well, what's a priority? How do we treat this? We're doing orthopedics. That's our main revenue, but you said this one came in. Should we focus on that? So
Right.
it gives direction to everybody without necessarily having to say, this is where we're headed. When it's constantly something that you're doing over time and time again, the mission is, we want to be the best at this. And
Hmm.
everyone kind of gears their brains and their vision and their own personal, what they want to get out of it is related to the overall mission of, becoming the best at what we do. So
Exactly. And when making this decision, as far as you said, kind of cutting off certain customers, was that kind of having in mind as far as more of long term of where you saw your business
oh shoot,
more?
Gabby, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Apparently. Never fun to get a call like that. Apparently I'm hooked up on this thing too. I'm so sorry. What
no,
was the question?
no problem. No, my question is just as far as having to decide to cut off certain customers and focus on one thing, was it thinking more wanting that long-term success and that longevity versus basically short-term revenue and success?
Yeah, I think this is where also a board comes into play as well. Some
Okay.
external factors that can come
Mm-hmm.
in quarterly. Because we had one board member that kept coming in going, all right, guys, you have this bucket of business over here, and I keep seeing you guys mess around with this business over here. What are you trying to be? And he
Okay.
kept challenging us to find an identity, find a focus. And I remember coming down the step, we have an upstairs, I was coming down the steps and we had a small plastic printer. There were about 3 people standing around it trying to fix it. We had all these metal printers over here trying to, that were ready to be turned over, money pumping.
Mm-hmm.
And we're messing with this plastic thing. And I went down and my business partner was on. I was like, we got to sell all this equipment. We got to get rid of it all.
Wow.
And because, I'm looking at this isn't turning as it should be. And we're messing around with a very small plastic printer. It's kind of like, well, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
It almost came down from just time, and you get exhausted. It's like you're spinning your wheels all over the place, and then we got rid of all that stuff. And so not only was it with just the customers, we were able to narrow our focus, but internally the problems that we were having and just the nuances of operating lots of equipment and being able to say, get rid of that, and that. Right. That eliminated that, and that problems. And so it allowed us to focus and bring to it. So it's kind of a necessity thing. Cause at the point too, when he was challenging us, it was like, we were on a cash crunch.
Okay.
And we were going down because we were all over the place. We were just trying to get any job, anything we could do.
Stretch yourself so thin. Yes.
Oh yeah. And it was just burning us out mentally. It was burning us out on cash. And so it kind of came down to like, all right, well, if we sell this equipment, then we could use it for X. Mm-hmm. And so it was a little bit of necessity, but also like, what do we want to be? And we had stated we wanted to be a contract manufacturer of 3D printed titanium orthopedic implants, but we still had this pool of low profit customers that we just felt bad and we were servicing and they were good people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of develop and you start to look at like, what do I need to do to protect the employees that are here and make sure that like we are all still driving on and have a purpose, a proper purpose. And so it's kind of a variety of, quantitative and qualitative factors that drove us to that decision to focus.
Absolutely. And so you've already made a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes that led to obviously a lot of growth as well. So then where do you see your business going within the next few years and what is your plan to make that vision happen?
Yes, the next couple of years, we're going to keep expanding on what we've got here. We use a couple of vendors for things like laser marking, passivation, or other just manufacturing processes. So we'd like to continue to bring that in-house to be a really end-to-end, manufacturer, be a, one-stop shop. That's kind of where we want to get it. We have a lot of expertise outside of additive manufacturing. That's our core competency. And then we have these things that are added on in terms of how it applies to additive manufacturing, but expanding on that, getting into more long-term solutions for our customers so they can get their lead times down and trying to keep their inventories level and also have consistent orders where we're not, pecking them every month. Like, hey, I know you need a restock, can you place that PO, So it'd be nice to get into some longer term agreements and then really, build out. Cause what we had here was kind of like our prototype factory. And then once we had proved like the ecosystem and the flow of implants through a regulated environment, then we were going to continue to expand on that. And we actually just closed on yesterday about three more machines. So that's going to put us like 13 or something like that. And so we'll start having that. So over the next year, it's going to be a lot of kind of what it was in 2016 when we first got into this space, build out, physical, running around, looking at electric and where's the gas go? And over there, oh, now we have to move everyone's desk. Everyone move right. Everyone other side.
Right.
So things like that. And I think honestly, finding contentment in this moment I
Okay.
think like we all run so hard
Mm-hmm.
and you can all feel so exhausted. And I think the one thing that I've learned over the last year in particular is like, just be content, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Just today, enjoy where you've come, kind of forget for a moment where you're going. Like, I got to
Mm-hmm.
get there. I got to do this.
Right.
Damn, we've built something really awesome here. And I want to enjoy that for a minute, kind of
Yeah.
let it cruise a little bit, maybe let just the natural problems, the nuances, like let it all settle and
Mm-hmm.
then lift it up
Let's go
again
again.
and
Yeah.
go after it. Let's do it one more
Yes.
round.
Yes. I definitely can relate to that. I have to at least
So,
celebrate the little wins
yeah.
and the times that you're successful. So that way, because otherwise it can be so easy. Then it's like, feel like you're accomplished nothing when you're constantly looking at that next goal.
Oh, for sure. And you have so many people here that are not vested, that are
Mm-hmm.
not shareholders, that are employees. How do you keep them relaxed but excited? And I think
Exactly.
if you keep driving them, like
Mm-hmm.
I could go every day, I could drive every day, and but
Right.
I could go, but I'm vested. My
Mm-hmm.
life is tied to
This is
this.
it.
Everything's
Yeah.
tied to this.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, it's kind of like if you keep pushing them to the next thing, and you never take a moment to be like, thank you and God bless, and let's
Right.
enjoy. Then it's kind of like the vigor, they don't get a moment, a respite to like come back again,
Right.
give you that same
Let's do it
level of
again.
energy
Mm-hmm.
for something new. Yeah. So, it's as the employee count has grown, you have to be more cognizant of like the emotional well-being of the entire
Yes.
organism as a
Mm-hmm.
whole
Mm-hmm.
versus like, your directors and managers.
Right.
It's like everybody has a stake in the game here, and
Mm-hmm.
trying to make sure we maintain that culture. So a little bit more maintenance maybe this year. Still willing to grow. There's those things, but just kind of taking care of business, enjoying it. Might take a vacation this year.
There you
Yeah.
go. Earn it. Like you said, celebrate, be content for a little
Absolutely.
bit, and then go again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, Adam, if you could tell us too, where can our listeners go? What platforms for any information about yourself or just about the business as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really active on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I think it's a great, um, typically a nonpartisan, business only kind of platform. And I like to hear what's going on. I like to share things, most communicative on there. Again, our business is a lot on LinkedIn as well. We have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, but we're most active on LinkedIn. So, if you're interested, connect with me there, and love the network. So
Perfect. And your
appreciate it.
website is also tangiblesolutions3d.com, correct?
That is correct.
Awesome.
So,
Perfect. Well, Adam Clark, thank you so much for your time today.
hey, I really appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great.